Courage. Not often a topic that is broached when you weigh 340 pounds, unless possibly you're afraid you might eat your companions. I have never eaten my companions, unless they did something wrong. But yes, people like me, people who are very large and built like M1 Abrams, we're afraid of certain things. Losing my job is a big fear for me. Happens to a lot of people, and no matter how strong you are physically, that's still a problem. But there was one time that I was legitimately scared. I was injured at work. It was December 31st, New Year's Eve. It had just passed midnight, just gotten to New Year's Eve. Someone went berserk and broke the time clock over my face at work, and I was sent to the hospital for 4 hours. How did I conquer fear of returning to work? I clearly had it. Man, I was shaking in my boots. Didn't want to face that place again. I'll tell you exactly what I did. I got in my car and I came back to work the next day. A little bloody, a little busted up, nothing broken, mild concussion. I sat in that chair and felt like I was going to vomit all over my desk. But I knew that if I took time off work, there would be a problem. I would be used to not going back to work, and I would develop a phobia. Sometimes, in order to conquer our fear, we need to confront it. This is courage. Not the absence of fear, but the presence of the ability to overcome that fear. When I go to the gym, you know, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm covered in scars. I still got to go into the locker room and get naked with a bunch of other dudes. Not exactly a pleasant experience for me, but after a while you go, you know what? We're all here, we're all naked, and we all have to deal with it. I don't like showing my chest in the pool either, because I look like me. I think I got some sunburn or something going there, is it? Not important. But what I had to do was just dive in. You walk out there, first couple of times you feel ridiculously naked. You're wearing swim trunks, so you shouldn't, but you feel ridiculously naked, and you get over it. This is one method of dealing with fear. Another method, of course, is to examine the consequences. I may get made fun of for putting this video on YouTube. I have been called fat on many occasions. Generally, I say something along the lines of, well, tell your mothers to stop feeding me so much. It's not my fault she likes cooking after sex. But, you know what? Yes, they call me fat. It doesn't actually hurt me. It really doesn't bother me that much. I am fat. It's the truth. Should I be afraid of the truth? No. I'm not a perfect person, and I realize that. I acknowledge my imperfections and show them to the world. This is the nature of truth and the absence of fear. You know, there was one instance recently where somebody asked me to show my fat belly on YouTube. I'm still trying to figure out if I was being trolled or not, but, well, you know, I mean, if you're into that, that's cool, but, I mean, you know, unless you're bothered by the fact that you're into that, rock on with your bad self, because I don't care. Another possibility, another way of conquering fear is to weigh options. You go to a restaurant with your buddies. That hot waitress seems like she actually might be into you. But you're afraid of rejection. You're afraid maybe she's just doing this for a nice tip. Probably the case. With me, I've had a lot of women give me the sign and then start talking about their husband or boyfriend. Which confuses me because I haven't asked them out and they keep giving me the sign. And I'm not into that. I mean, I don't like, you know, the whole multiple guys thing. I mean, other people's penises, I understand they're there. I realize they exist. If one of them is over here, I don't want to be over here with it. I think it's like, if you've got your dude, you should stick with your dude. Don't go messing with other dudes, because that's how diseases spread. So there's that. I mean, you know, you look at women sometimes and you think, do you not remember that you're not on the market? Because nasty. But I digress. So what's going to happen if you ask out the waitress that might be giving you the sign? Unless you go to that restaurant a lot, which most of you don't, you know, she says yes, you have a good time, have a bad time, you have another experience to talk about. She says no, shrug it off. Half the time they say no, not because they mean no, but because they're just kind of used to saying no. They're afraid. They don't have the courage. But, you know, here again being the thing is dating is kind of a numbers game. And you've got to play those numbers. And just like any other game, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you lose badly. Sometimes you swing, you miss, you trip, you break your leg. I just made a baseball analogy for relationships, and I'm a little confused by it myself. But the point is that even though you break your leg, you go to the hospital, get that leg set, come back and play some more baseball. You have a relationship, you have a bad relationship, you lick your wounds, you drink a beer, and then you get back in the game, because that's life. Part of courage is realizing that life is finite. You must live. And you must die at some point. So now I'm not advocating anyone go out there and do something stupid and say it's courage, because stupidity is still stupidity. The brave and the stupid may be closely related, but they're still not the same people. But one of the things you do is you weigh the options. You go out there and you talk to this person and you try to get something going. She says yes, you win. She says no, what have you really lost? We all sit there worrying about the potentiality of what will happen when we talk to them, but if we never talk to them, we get nothing. I'll tell you another instance where somebody called me brave. I remember, I was acting in college, and it was the first time I had purchased a makeup kit, which is what everybody had to do. And they said, hey, you know, your makeup kit's missing something. It's missing a brush. And I was like, what? I paid 45 bucks for this thing. So I emailed the manufacturer. It was Ben Nye, not Bill Nye the Science Guy. Other people in my class made that mistake. But I said, hey, you know, bro, I got the makeup kit. It's missing a brush. I hear there's another guy in my play. He got the makeup kit. It's missing a brush. What gives? Bill Nye said, Ben Nye? I'm getting my Nyes confused. Ooh. Hey, it's hot. You can see the sweat? Can you? Yes. Anyway, so I emailed him. He sent me the brushes to replace them and handed the other guy his brush, kept one brush for myself. We had a complete kit. And somebody says, gee, that was a real ballsy thing to do. Why? You get a product, there's something wrong with it, you inform the manufacturer. The worst they can do is ignore you. Don't let them push you around. Get over your fear of life and live. I just spit. That was nasty, but it didn't hit the camera. It got the tripod though. So, how do we get over fear? We acknowledge that we must live. And we acknowledge that we all die. We realize for the short time we have on this little rock of ours, we got to get something done in the meantime. Otherwise, you spend your entire life sitting at home playing video games. Which, to be completely honest with you, you can do if you want, but you'll get carpal tunnel and your eyes will stop working and you'll get as fat as me. So, weigh your alternatives and be brave. Or not be brave. Hey, I'm some fat guy on the internet, not your internal monologue. In any case, I hear a kitty calling. I shall call you later. I shall speak to you... Stop that. I shall speak to you later.